Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Lamostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Go Premanande Haribol. A very special welcome and thank you to all the devotees who are present here today. It takes a great effort to move around the surface of the earth, especially in Silicon Valley these days, especially around this time of day. And I deeply appreciate that all of you have come here to listen to the transcendental sound vibration. You have no other purpose to be here except for the 100% spiritual cause of hearing transcendental sound vibration. And also, to all of those of you who have joined us on the internet tonight, in various places around the world, there are other kinds of programs one can watch on the internet, unlimited in fact, but you've chosen to tune in to this broadcast tonight where we'll be talking about Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So kudos to you, and thank you very much for being with us tonight. We're really thrilled to have you along. Hare Krishna to all our internet guests and devotees from all over the world. And if you'd like to participate in the class tonight, we'd greatly appreciate it. I mean, you're participating by listening, and we feel your presence out there. But if you'd like to text in a comment, a question, or just to say Hare Krishna, please text to 650-245-7018. That's 650-245-7018. And we have operators standing by to take your calls and texts. You can also join us on conference call. The number is on the website next to the sign-in for the broadcast tonight, and you can actually speak to the assembly of devotees here through the speaker above my head, in which you'll be patched through so we can hear your voice and feel you in that way too. So thank you very much. We are continuing with our reading of the Sri Caitanya Charitamrita. So far we're up to chapter number 6, just near the end. We're in the last quarter of chapter 6 of the Adi Lila. And so far for the last maybe 10 days, we've had readings every single night for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. And I was listening this morning to Prabhupada quoting a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, in which Lord Brahma says that one may stay in one's position, whatever that may be. No need to make any moves from one's occupation or status in life, but one should simply hear about Krishna. And from that, everything else will come. All other spiritual paraphernalia will come into one's life. It'll be attracted, and one will gain spiritual intelligence. One will begin to understand the science of Krishna consciousness just by submissive hearing. Even if you don't understand it now, by hearing gradually, magically, you'll hear. Magically, just like when you eat food and you don't know how it's digested and distributed to all the cells in your body, that's magic. In the same way, by hearing, one may not understand how one's intelligence is becoming clarified, one's developing good qualities and so forth, but it will happen naturally, in natural course. This is called anukramishruti, step by step, by hearing. One will attain higher and higher stages of devotional service. And anu also means to follow. We can't emphasize enough the potency of following. So by sitting in an assembly of devotees and hearing from the revealed scriptures, one follows in the footsteps of great souls like Lord Brahma and Narada Muni and Srila Vyasadeva. That's what they do. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and more recently, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and those who are following in his footsteps, who are serious about devotional service, deeply and with great concentration, hear the topics about the Lord. Prabhupada emphasizes in his purports that one must hear all of these things. All of these things means painstakingly he produced Bhagavad Gita, Sri Ishopanishad, Nectar of Instruction, Bhagavad Gita, I said, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, and so forth. One may think, this is too much to ask. There's just too much here in order to actually systematically go through it. But not true. If one gains momentum through the process of hearing and regularly puts in some time each day, the way many people put in time watching television, in 5 years one can complete hearing everything that's written by Srila Prabhupada. And he says in a purport in the Caitanya Charitamrita that unless one hears everything, the entire corpus, the entire canon of Vedic literature that he's presented to us, then one will become interested in eating, sleeping, and other activities, and will fall down from the path of devotional service. So it's imperative to go on hearing at a steady pace and as much as one can consume every single day. Just as I was reading an article recently that once one turns 50 years old, it's imperative that one exercise every day. Otherwise, it's practically guaranteed that one will fall ill at some point in one's life, because it's just the way the body's designed. And it requires a commitment every day. So in the same way, for those who are interested in advancing in devotional service, commitment is required to hearing the transcendental sound. If one does that, then all other things will naturally manifest in one's life in a miraculous way by the grace of Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And here we are in the Adi Lila, chapter 6, Glories of Sri Advaita Acharya, and we're starting up tonight on text number 77. Teho apanake korina dash bhavana, Krishna dash bhava vinu, ache kona jana. He also considers himself a servant of Lord Krishna. Indeed, who is there who does not have this conception of being a servant of Lord Krishna? He who is Shesha, Sankarsana, with his thousands of mouths, serves Sri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva and who appears in unlimited universes, is also a guna avatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. Purport: there are 11 expansions of Rudra, or Lord Shiva. They are as follows: Ajay Kapat, Habibhradna, Virupaksha, Raivata, Hara, Bahurupa, Devashreshta, Triyambaka, Savitra, Jayanta, Pinaki, and Aparajita. Besides these expansions, there are 8 forms of Rudra called earth, water, fire, air, sky, the sun, the moon, and Soma Yaji. Generally, all these Rudras have 5 faces, 5 faces, 3 eyes, and 10 arms. Sometimes it is found that Rudra is compared to Brahma and considered a living entity. But when Rudra is explained to be a partial expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is compared to Shesha. Lord Shiva is therefore simultaneously an expansion of Lord Vishnu and, in his capacity for annihilating the creation, one of the living entities. As an expansion of Lord Vishnu, he is called Hara, and he is transcendental to the material qualities. But when he is in touch with Tamogun, he appears contaminated by the material modes of nature. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam and the Brahma Samhita. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, it is stated that Lord Rudra is always associated with the material nature when she is in the neutral, unmanifested stage. But when the modes of material nature are agitated, he associates with material nature from a distance. In the Brahma Samhita, the relationship between Vishnu and Lord Shiva is compared to that between milk and yogurt. Milk is converted into yogurt by certain additives. But although milk and yogurt have the same ingredients, they have different functions. Similarly, Lord Shiva is an expansion of Lord Vishnu, yet because of his taking part in the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, he is considered to be changed, like milk converted into yogurt. In the Puranas, it is found that Shiva appears sometimes from the heads of Brahma and sometimes from the head of Vishnu. The annihilator Rudra is born from Sankarsana, and the ultimate fire to burn the whole creation. In the Vayu Purana, there is a description of Sadashiva in one of the Vaikuntha planets. That Sadashiva is a direct expansion of Lord Krishna's form for pastimes. It is said that Sadashiva, Lord Shambhu, is an expansion from the Sadashiva in the Vaikuntha planets, Lord Vishnu, and that his consort, Mahamaya, is an expansion of Rama Devi or Lakshmi. Mahamaya is the origin or birthplace of material nature. Mukharvin, can you switch these, please? this and that. You on your Veda base? Could you look up about the Rudras and Sankarshana? I want to find a reference there where it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam about how this and this, just switch them. They, when Sankarshana becomes aware of the fact near the end of the creation that living entities have not taken advantage of the mercy that he's extended in various ways, he becomes a little annoyed. You found it? Okay. And then from his eyebrows come the 11 Rudras. He becomes a little angry, and the 11 Rudras burst forth. Then they do their dance of destruction, and they begin to annihilate the universe. The annihilated Rudra is born from Sankarshana and the ultimate fire to burn the whole creation. In the Vayu Purana, it is a description of Sadashiva in one of the Vaikuntha planets. There is a Sadashiva in one of the Vaikuntha planets. That Sadashiva is a direct expansion of Lord Krishna's form for pastimes. It is said that Sadashiva, Lord Shambhu, is an expansion from the Sadashiva in the Vaikuntha planets, Lord Vishnu, and that his consort, Mahamaya, is an expansion of Rama Devi or Lakshmi. So we heard earlier that that Krishna expands himself into Baladev, and then the Chaturvyuha, Mula Sankarshan, the second Chaturvyuha, and then the Purushas who create the universe. And similarly from Radharani come the various Shaktis, like the queens in Dwarka, and then the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, and then Maya Devi is an expansion ultimately. All the Shaktis emanate from her, just as the various Vishnu Tattvas emanate from Lord Krishna. I'll move on, and if you find that, unless it's just, okay. He also desires only to be a servant of Lord Krishna. Sri Sadashiva says, always says, I am a servant of Lord Krishna. Everyone please say, I am a servant of Lord Krishna.
I am a servant of Lord Krishna.
Intoxicated by ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, he becomes overwhelmed and increasingly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. All the emotions, whether those of father, mother, teacher, or friend, are full of sentiments of servitude. That is the nature of love of Krishna. Lord Krishna, the one master and the Lord of the universe, is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servants. That same Lord Krishna has descended as Lord Caitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone, therefore, is his servant. Some accept him, whereas others do not, yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by his sinful activities. You found it. Bravo. To the whole technical team, the research team in the front row, we thank you very much. For the pleasure of all the devotees assembled all over the world, I'm going to read this from the 5th canto. At the time of devastation, this is 5th canto, 25th verse, 25th chapter, and it is the 3rd verse. At the time of devastation, when Lord Anantadev desires to destroy the entire creation, he becomes slightly angry. Then from between his two eyebrows appears a three-eyed Rudra carrying a trident. This Rudra, who is known as Sankarshana, is the embodiment of the 11 Rudras, or incarnations of Lord Shiva. He appears in order to devastate the entire creation. So Anantadev desires to destroy the creation, becomes a little bit angry. And then from between his eyebrows appears three-eyed Rudra carrying a trident. This Rudra, who is known as Sankarshana, is the embodiment of the